Hello, and welcome to another episode of playing Crusader Kings 3 using the hardest possible rule set, starting as a stewardship-focused landless adventurer in 867. We are currently still playing his heir, our second character. We are the Holy Roman Emperor. We've been spending the last two episodes experiencing a Black Plague and then recovering from it. We do have a couple of Scourge Conquerors on our borders here, particularly this guy in Al-Andalus. I think 3 or 4 episodes ago, he attacked us, defeated us, won some of these lands up here in Scandinavia for some reason. I don't know why he attacked there instead of Akiton, but whatever. And we've really been quite careful in our conquest, sort of tiptoeing around, waiting until he's been engaged in war before we ourselves go to war with anyone. You can see that he is finally starting to get old. Will be very interesting when he dies, what happens to his realm in terms of it. Does it split apart? He does have a number of sons here, it looks like, quite a few. Which one of those, if any, will inherit the Scourge Conqueror trait? As part of the hardest possible rule set, we are playing with frequent Scourge Conquerors and all heirs inherit. But as I've talked about before, even though this game rule says the Conqueror personality and bonuses will be inherited by all heirs, that is simply not true. That there seems to be an element based either on personality traits or maybe just random. That means that sometimes heirs will not inherit the Conqueror trait, and so creates the interest or uncertainty when he dies, who will end up with that trait. So, odd that there are all these herders up here. Can I just vassalize them? Okay, not yet. Interesting. I think what I might do is just take over this realm very quickly and then see if I can just sweep up these herders. One thing that's been annoying to us, though it's very unsurprising that it has happened, is we've been getting a lot of Scandinavian adventurers attacking us every 5 years. Again, not surprising, because as part of the hardest possible rule set, we have set Scandinavian adventurers to apocalyptic, meaning basically they attack us every 5 years. But we would like to stop that, and I think one way to stop it is going to be conquering Norway. So that happened, that decision right there is something that happened because we had extorted our vassals in our prior episode. The decision I made there is I just really love gold, and I'm willing to take a little bit of tyranny to get more gold. All of our vassals currently love us. I believe it's almost literally true that every single one has a plus 100 opinion of us. So even incurring a little bit of tyranny is not going to cause them to revolt. See, our new wife is pregnant with our first child. Be interesting to see what gender that child is and what sort of genetic traits they have. Hand this territory out to a member of our dynasty who is not our son. Currently have just one son who is our heir. He'll be inheriting everything from us. Let's check our succession to be sure of that. Yes. If we have other sons, then that will complicate the succession, but could be a benefit. Let's see here. Truly fine prizes. All right, we'll head to this. I always talk about how important going to grand tournaments is, and it seems like I haven't been doing it that much. Haven't been going to tournaments hosted by other people, and that I'm being you're not really living up to my words. So we will go to this grand tournament. But in the meantime, we will sweep up. I do not know why all these people are herders, frankly. Yeah, I don't even know that I want to guess. But they are, and so happy to take their lands. Get this character the duchy title we just created. Give another member of our dynasty. These titles, it's a bit odd. Every single person in our dynasty is a... That can't be right. Seems to be saying every single person... Oh, because they're tribal. Maybe that's the issue. Alright, we'll pay to fix that. Even though it's horrifically expensive. Okay. Now I assume people will be willing, yes, to take on governing this duchy and its counties. Okay, so with that done, let's go to our tournament, someone else's tournament, and you'll see we get some good artifacts, get some hostile looter experience, try to keep improving our character. These are leaders of peasant revolts that happened during the Black Death. I've just been leaving them in prison, partly because often when you win a peasant revolt, there's that weird thing on the faction screen where it seems like the peasant revolt could still fire, but for the lack of a leader, and so I don't want to release them in case they could then become the leader of that peasant revolt again. But also, I just don't like peasants that revolt against me, so they can just sit in prison. My decisions here are really just looking to increase my score as much as possible. If it doesn't affect my score, I'll lose stress. Take a decision that makes me lose stress. Happy to do that. Again, increase our score here. Happy to fund this. One of the things we have is books on that increase our martial lifestyle experience. So it sounds like that guy is going to try to make one. Hopefully it's good, but we'll have to see. For this, I don't really care. Unless this guy's really good, I don't really care to have him join my court. I'd just rather take the score increase. Guess we'll take this guy's suzerainty, or his tribute to us. We'll become his suzerain. So by going down healthy and then the whole of body, we're probably, sort of screwing our current player heir here. The idea is that we're more likely to play as someone from our new wife here, but we'll have to see how it goes. Ideally, she will give birth to a son who is both genius and beautiful, but That would be the ideal circumstance and not necessarily what is likely to happen. %99 chance of increasing our score by reducing his, so we'll take that. You can see that our income is steadily increasing. I think it had been almost +90 before the Black Death hit. Black Death cripples your development and control, and so it's taken some time to reestablish that. I want the book to be of higher quality. Definitely take the renown there. Love renown. It's a pretty good trinket. The hammer, we have something better. Okay, no daughter. See if she has a son. If not, our current son would be a perfectly good ruler. The only thing is that he might be quite old by the time that we die and he takes over. I mean, what's weird about this is, Staffordshire is embedded in Britannia here. I mean, I guess we'll take their vassalage. I don't. We are playing on total exclave independence, which means that any land that is not connected to mine by land or sea will become independent upon succession. So when my character dies, so if we don't connect up with him there, he'll become independent. I mean, it's a single county, so I don't really care one way or the other. Are you any good? No, you are terrible. So we'll just take some gold. I say is any good, I mean is he any good as a knight, but I believe he had a prowess of 2, and that is terrible. So we successfully romanced our wife there. I guess we'll lose the tiny amount of stress we have. Just thinking about what we want to do next in terms of declaring war. Let's check on our buddy here. Huh. He is losing a number of wars. That is interesting. So very briefly, the thought goes through my mind about, hey, what if we attacked him? But then I look at the fact that he has over 40,000 gold and could hire a ton of mercenaries. And what I conclude is if I were to attack him, I would very likely lose and have to pay him a ton of gold. And it's a bad idea, and I should instead wait until he dies. So there is the thinking there. I guess we could see if we could usurp this title. We cannot. I guess someone actually holds the title. All right. This person here holds it. I assume I can't attack him. No. Oh, you are Catholic. That is interesting. Do you want to be my vassal? Apparently not. I don't like making people my vassal on low feudal obligations. It just really isn't worth it because it increases the cost of your amenities and you don't get much in exchange. Really want either normal or even high feudal obligations if I could get them. to some weird kind of lands up here in Scandinavia. If I create Sweden, is that going to help anyone join me? Doesn't look like it. Well, I guess we could skip Scandinavia and see what else is around. Ionia, ruled by the Catholic Sami. Croatia. The Harids must have had a succession or something that split up their kingdom. So you see here, Croatia is a Scourge Conqueror, but we can tell he's a new one. How do I know that? Partly because of his age, but also because Scourge Conquerors, when they become Scourge Conquerors, get bonus stars to their education, and so they all quickly become level 5 education in whatever their education is. You can see here he only has 2 stars. That means he just took over. So what has caused me pause there is when Scourge Conquerors become Scourge Conquerors, they almost always pick something in the martial tree and go down the martial tree. Usually chivalry, they can sometimes do strategy focus. What is surprising me here is this person so far has not done that, but instead has gone down the majesty focus. Partly I'm saying all these things because I'm about to attack him, and the reason is, he is very weak. We don't want him to become stronger, and I think we are best off, strangling him in the cradle, so to speak. I think we can get the most land by doing this, so we will take these counties. If a Scourge Conqueror loses 3 wars, then they should stop being a Scourge Conqueror. And so our goal here is to inflict 1 defeat on him right now. And then after 5 years, if he's still a Scourge Conqueror, we can inflict more defeats on him. But again, we don't want to give him time and allow him to become more powerful. To some extent, that's what happened with this Al-Andalus guy. He was far away from us. We couldn't really attack him. But he started in the Kingdom of Al-Andalus, and I think he was at some point probably relatively weak, and he was able to very quickly become very strong. One thing is Scourge Conquerors get a huge bonus to their siege speed, and as you can see, that up there he just tore through one of our territories. We will go see if we can chase him down and end that. An option here would be to split my army apart and leave my siege equipment and some levies down to keep sieging. I don't like doing that against Scourge Conquerors because they get bonuses to their army speed among other bonuses they get, and it's very easy for them to turn around and destroy your siege army before you can stop them. Bit surprising that the Scourge Conqueror is not leading the army himself, especially since Scourge Conquerors get a plus 25 advantage, and then they also get on top of that a plus 10 advantage because we're playing on very hard. All AI rulers that lead their own armies get a plus 10 advantage. Scourge Conquerors get plus 25 for Scourge Conquerors. Add that up, and of course that is a plus 35 advantage. And so you can see that this is the Scourge Conqueror. You can tell because the crown is there, meaning he's leading that army. You can see how quickly he unsieged that territory. And you also see how fast he's moving. But maybe we can catch him here or not. Nope. And this is what is frustrating about Scourge Conquerors. They get very significant bonuses to army speed and siege speed, which makes them very difficult to fight. That's why we want to make the life of this one as difficult as possible. Guess this guy was already Catholic, like, or at least not hostile to us, so we just took him as a vassal instead of taking his lands. Alright. So I somehow something went wrong with our last Grand Tour. Grand Tours are very helpful. I'm going to take another Grand Tour here. Hopefully this one goes well. I want to visit dukes. Generally, we do have one king level vassal, somewhat unfortunately, who is France, but he's not available to be visited apparently. I think I do want some prestige. Might as well. I don't really think I need any prestige actually. Up to 20,000, that's plenty. Don't need to increase starting success of our tour. We definitely want to be on justice. Try to increase control. The AI is generally quite bad at increasing control, and so I'm guessing most of our vassals still have poor control in their individual realms. Looks like we have reestablished control in all of our counties. Put our marshal on trained commanders. We do this largely to increase our men-at-arms effectiveness. Because we're playing on very hard, we get a minus 50% penalty to the effectiveness of our knights. And so our knights are far less effective than they would be on the normal rule set. And so instead we're really looking to our men-at-arms to be the backbone of our army. And you've probably, if you watch a lot of CK3 videos, you've probably seen videos of people making amazing knights, and it is possible to do that on these settings, but it's a bit more difficult because of the penalties. And in a normal game, you can often use your knights and a bunch of siege equipment, and that will win wars for you. But at this level of difficulty, and especially if you're going on Scourge Conquerors, it just doesn't work. So the question here is, what do I want to do next? Certainly not going to be stewardship. I mean, learning, I don't think I need to. We could go back to martial. I think let's do that. Do we have a good martial book? We have a martial book. Guess we'll do that. And then what do we want over here? Medium boost. So we also saw that we had a son born. He's a genius, but unfortunately does not have any physical beauty trait, so that's disappointing. The noble carving gives control bonus, which again I like that because the AI is quite poor at maintaining control, including our AI vassals. Often that decision to create noble carving has a negative effect that you saw there. Um, but I think after the Black Death, when control is low in many areas, it's still worth doing. So the prior decision, I always want renown, so that's why I took the renown. Here we'll take the development growth without having to spend any gold. Don't really want to spend gold on these peasants. And now I get the event that makes me spend gold. That does increase development, and problem is the other one decreases development growth, so I spend the gold. No, you can just sit in prison. So this is part of a chain to kill a legendary beast. But you may be surprised to know, if you haven't seen prior episodes, I did kill the legendary beast. I did kill the white boar. The white boar is dead. Unfortunately, the game does not seem to have registered that fact. So we keep getting pop-up events talking about the white boar. So this should be the last stewardship perk, and it is. So try to remember from now on, I do not want any more stewardship lifestyle experience or perks. I really irrationally dislike having perks that I cannot spend. If I get a 28th, 29th stewardship perk and this has a 1 or 2 that I can never use, it just annoys me. It annoys me the same way some people get annoyed about border gore. So I really want to avoid getting perks that I can't use, which would mean any further perks in the stewardship tree. I think there's not really much point in investigating. It requires a bunch of coin flip 50-50 kind of rolls. A lot of people are submitting to me. All right, well, this is terrible. So the Venator is the title you get for killing a legendary beast, which is very rare to do. So this is a very rare title. Instead, we're going to replace it with this title that every character seems to get, but there's no way to avoid it. I really wish that there were, but we will have this mediocre nickname for the rest of our days, most likely. Take the increased in mystic trait experience and cultural acceptance. Don't want to become superstitious, since that increases our stress for that, that immediate prior decision. The odds just were not good. I'd rather avoid the bandits or whatever. Let's increase cultural acceptance. It's always useful. That's a lot of gold. We are playing on very hard, which means the amount of gold we get for ransoms is only a quarter of the amount you get on normal. And so if that guy, we got, I think, 62 gold from him, that means that on normal you'd get 250 gold. Ugh. So this guy always tries to rob you, but the problem is that the bottom option is 88 stress, which is a whole lot. So we'll see if he robs us. He does not. We notice him. He still tries. It's an annoying event, but not every event is going to be positive. So we deal with it and move on. Curious about my hostile looter experience now. I know I'm maxed out on foot. Really just need bow. Again, we'll increase our martial perks with the idea that if we need to fight any Scourge Conquerors, this will make us better at it. Really like this option here because I love lifestyle perks, so we are going to get it. Even though we're passing up the opportunity to get some gold, we will survey the lands to get gold. Always love gold. Gold is the sort of most fundamental resource in CK3, since generally speaking you can turn gold into other resources through activities or through spending it. You can turn gold into more gold by building in your domain. You can turn gold into military troops by using gold to hire them. Turn gold into piety through funerals and pilgrimages. You can turn gold into prestige through trading titles or feast or hunts. So in short, want more gold. Also want more renown. Renown is extremely difficult to get. It's one of the few things you can't really turn gold into. You cannot turn gold into renown. Okay, so let's pause here for a minute. I talked about, hey, maybe our player heir here, who is our current, our eldest son, maybe won't play as him. The fact that he just had an amazing grandson means maybe we will want to play as him. So let's take our grandson here. Unsurprisingly, we want to get him married to get him betrothed to someone who is beautiful. Ideally, someone who is beautiful and has an intelligence trait. If I'm not seeing that, I think let's go ahead and just get him betrothed to this girl. Hopefully, they would have children that would be able to strengthen the bloodline, which requires one maxed out trait and then to have the other two genetic physical traits at some level. So when we get back to this grand tour, we want to educate both our youngest son as well as our grandson here. The son of our current player heir. Since we may end up playing as either one of those, and you really want to educate our potential heirs. Talked before about, I've seen some other YouTubers play, and they don't pin their potential heirs and often don't even pay any attention to them. And if you're doing that intentionally because you want to be surprised by who you're going to play as an heir, or you're doing it for roleplay reasons, great, that's fine, makes perfect sense. It's a single player game, play how you want. That's what how you enjoy the game. That's great. No questions there. But you should be making that as a conscious choice and understand that you're not playing optimally. And if you want to play optimally, please pin your potential heirs up here and pay attention to them as much as possible. In particular, you should, the two people most likely to be your heirs should be educated by your current ruler in almost all circumstances, unless your current ruler just really sucks. Basically, you want to have your current ruler being the one who educates them. In our case, our current ruler does not suck at all. He's going to be excellent at educating his children and grandchildren because he is a genius and has very high stats. And so we certainly want him to educate our most likely heirs, which are going to be these two. Most likely heirs that are not already adults, since obviously our oldest son would be our most likely heir at the moment, but he has already been fully educated and is hanging around our court, probably hoping that we die or give him some land or something else. So I usually tear down these ugly statues because of the development growth penalty if you leave them up. That makes things interesting. So we're probably going to skip who is now our middle son here, who is just intelligent, and educate our grandson, and then our new son here, who is both intelligent and handsome. All right. I mean, we're old, but we have a whole bunch of modifiers. And so, especially since we have whole of body and healthy or temperate, I think there's a reasonably good chance we live into our late 70s. Our father actually lived to be 110, somewhat incredibly. Oh, he's sickly, but he should be okay because he's Herculean. We will educate him. How much does it send me university? We'll do it. Send me university. Same thing for you. We'll educate you and send you to university, even though it is horrifically expensive. See, we're back up to 78 income a month. That's very good. All right. So we could hold a grand tournament. Al-Sark. Okay. So our nemesis, not technical nemesis, but practical nemesis down here died. Looks like his kingdom split in two. But unfortunately, those two are still both Scourge Conquerors. See his capital. The capital, the closest one here from Al-Sark is down there. So it's probably not a huge surprise. It's what I want to do here, given what I did with the guy from Croatia. I want to attack them while they are weak. And so I'm going to set aside all those activities for a while, and we are going to attack this guy. We've already used our Holy War Kingdom CB, but we can use our Holy War Duchy CB. I do not have By the Sword yet. All of my cultural traditions at the moment are really focused on the economy. Yep, we are going to attack this guy for Barcelona. Doesn't have too much gold yet. Yep, I think that's what we want to do. And again, we really want to try to inflict defeats on these Scourge Conquerors before they get too powerful. If we inflict enough defeats, they lose the Scourge Conqueror trait. I will lead the army myself. I'm probably best suited to do it. Might as well hire a holy order. It's not too much gold. So, here is some strategery, one might say, in terms of how to prevent Scourge Conquerors from becoming as powerful as their father was and really causing us problems. Just keep an eye out if we see his armies. I do think we will be able to defeat those armies, even despite the plus 35 advantage he would get if he's leading those armies himself. We talked about that plus 35 advantage earlier. Yeah, I don't know. So this should, again, this should be done with. We killed the white boar in the county of Bourbon. Got this very nice artifact here from it. You know, hide of the white boar of Bourbon. It's about as clear as could possibly be that that has been done. Okay, we have someone sieging way over there. I don't think I care too much about that. I am sieging in the war goal. Not interested in converting to Catharism. Am interested in more martial perks. What just happened? Thought I was sieging. No, I'm not sieging. Okay, now I'm sieging again. Maybe I didn't look at something correctly or something went wrong. I don't know. Do want to keep a close eye on our, the two people we are tutoring, our wards here. Just talked about the importance of educating your potential heirs, and so don't want to be a hypocrite. Want to make sure that we are paying attention to them and passing on good personality traits, and otherwise making them good characters who will be rulers that are easy to play. Sure. Just an internal alliance. Okay. Took a surprisingly long time, but he's a Blade Master. We will keep going down the warfare tree. Advantage +5, very strong. Cuts into the advantage that the Scourge Conquerors will have. So definitely happy to have that. Same, fine with negotiating an alliance with this guy. Another person wants to pay his tribute. That's fine too. Curious what this guy is. Put him on learning. Let's make sure we have a tutor. We do. Who's actually our son. Let's make this woman a good Catholic. Then she can instill virtue. Instill virtue means that they give your children virtuous traits. Seems to apply more to children that you are not tutoring yourself. So these are the armies of our enemy. They seem to be retreating from something. Oh, they're retreating from this guy attacking them. All right. It would be nice if we could catch them, which we did. We could end this war right here. Okay, we are not at war against this the Al-Andalus guy. Looks like this is the guy who got all the gold. There is a real question about, do we want to try to take him on once he wins his war against Al-Sark? Again, the intent and purpose of attacking him would be the same, just to inflict a defeat on him. Get at least one defeat that could eventually lead him to losing the Scourge Conqueror trait if he loses 3 wars. In the meantime, let's hand off Barcelona to a couple of people. Don't think a single person can hold it, so we'll give it, spread it out to a couple. I think we can unpin my daughters here. They're not going to be in the line of succession. Don't think our wife needs to be pinned anymore. We really want to focus on these bottom 2. Okay. So, see here, this guy just has an absolute ton of gold. Where could we attack him now? I mean, you talked a little bit about strategery earlier. There is a strategic idea of attacking him for Barcelona, getting these 2 counties, which gives us, stacking war goal, and then making him come to us and, trying to defeat him and defeat him in battle if we need to, but really sort of taking advantage of the fact that these 2 counties are separated from his realm to win primarily on ticking war score. And I think that is not a bad idea, frankly. Again, his father gave us a lot of trouble, and we don't want him to do the same. And the more we defeat him, the better off we are going to be. So we are going to declare war on him. Does it matter which one of these we do? I don't think so. No one else is, doesn't look like anyone else is joining. So, yeah, let's do this. Raise our armies in the same place. We'll get this Order of Alcantara. Didn't even realize we could hire a Holy Order for free. See, we're back up above 90 income a month, which is very good. I think our enemy may have just won his war against his brother, so that's less good. Yep. All right. But we are going to, see if we can grab these 2 counties that are the war goal, hold on to them as hard as we can. Crap, he's already there. Going to hire some special mercenaries and hope this goes better than last time. We have the gold, though he has even more gold. But I really want to get the war goal so we can get ticking war score. Let's see if we can. Okay, that's irrelevant. We'll deal with that. Whenever this is done with, can we catch him? Can we spread out? Maybe. Good. So they're just feeding in to us and we are smashing them. That's all good. Deploy both strategies. Make sure there's nothing negative about either of these. I don't think there is. That's great. So we just smashed his army, but again, he has over 44,000 gold, so we can easily rebuild it. We will quickly unsiege this territory and then siege the territory that is part of the war goal. So you can see here, unfortunately, one of our vassals is being attacked. But no, it's a tributary, never mind. I was going to go through my guaranteed join versus conditional join spiel, but I'll save that for a time when it's more appropriate. See, we just ticked up by one because we have ticking war goal score. That's good. Are a bunch of hostile armies around for some reason. Want to make sure he doesn't come behind us and land. Okay, there are his armies. Don't think he's going to be able to raise them fast enough. Possible, I would like to destroy his armies again. I don't know where he's going. We'll just take the victory. And there's one defeat on him. You annoying guys, we'll just sail up. You, what? How are you 2 of 2? What? I know the person that I gave this to. He must have died, I guess. Not sure how this person ended up. Whatever, we'll give these 2 counties to someone else. I had expected to give them to the person who was holding the Duchy of Barcelona, but the person that is holding the Duchy of Barcelona is terrible. So, anyway, we'll move on. Sure, not that you did anything. Obviously, hiring the mercenaries there is a bit overkill. Didn't need them, but better to have them and not need them than vice versa. And we did achieve our goal, inflicting a defeat on the new Scourge Conqueror of Al-Andalus. Modify contracts so they pay us more gold. Great, we have magistrates finally. Let's win this war, and then we will look into building some windmills and water wheels. Where are you guys going? Oh, come on. It is far too late for you to run now. What do I want to research next? I think we can go battlements and then memorialism. I mean, royal prerogative is another good one. So, a few different options here. Eventually, we're going to want all of them. Come on. All right, there we go. I don't really care about this guy. Check on Croatia. Assume we're still in truce. Just 4 months though, so we can attack him again. It does raise the question of whether if we attack Croatia, will Al-Andalus try to attack us? I think we have a reasonably good chance of beating them. But for now, let's instead look at our realm. Okay, so we need memorialism first to build windmills. That's unfortunate. Now we know for the future we will get memorialism. Okay, not a big deal. Get more gold out of this guy. Hopefully that will convince him that he needs to, maybe we'll sway him. Would like to have him become our vassal. We're still in good health at 65. I wonder if our father's remarkable longevity will carry over to us. I think if you max out bow, you get a better health boost. Also a big army gold maintenance decrease. I think let's hold a grand tournament and then we will call it an episode here. Go with recital and then archery. Archery second on the idea that from the recital we'll win it. And if we win it, we'll get a modifier that increases hostile leader experience, meaning when we do archery and hopefully we win it as well, we'll get more bow experience than if we did bow first. Okay. So for this episode, obviously I think we're in pretty good shape. We've defeated some junior Scourge Conquerors, so to speak. People that were not as, had just become Scourge Conquerors, not as powerful as the old Scourge Conqueror of Al-Andalus that really beat us quite badly. But I think the fact that we're able to defeat any Scourge Conquerors shows that we're on the right path and making progress and getting to where we want to be. Guess we'll finally let these populist uprising leaders go just so they stop asking to be ransomed. But yeah, I mean everything is relatively on track. The only real setback we had was when the old Al-Andalus Scourge Conqueror beat us for the territories up in Sweden. So here, just trying to maximize my chances of success while also avoiding stress. I assume we'll win this pretty easily, but you never know. Would be nice if I got some furniture out of this, or a good pedestal item, or something of that nature, but hard to know. Take these tiny ransoms. Go with the top one. No reason to be a jerk to our vassals. Would like to get the renown, which we did. to marry her to someone, or betroth her to someone who is beautiful. Or we just betroth her to our son. So they're guaranteed to be geniuses, and their children, I should say, are guaranteed to be geniuses, and then hopefully they can get some level of either of handsome, of the beauty trait, and the physical strength trait. So I think that's a good match. And I should take a look at our children here. Huh. I think it's time to start focusing on Marshall. It's particularly easy to say for the second one, since he is well suited for Marshall. Yep. Okay. Since you can't start giving them traits until they are personality traits until they are 4. So we'll have to wait a little while to do that. We can go back to our tournament. Greatly increase our score. Again, looking for the highest chance of success, 84% there. It's a nice looking bow. An okay brooch. It is a pedestal item, which helps. We can replace our crappy rib here with this nice brooch. Let's look at our weapon. So same prowess, 2 +2 knights versus +14 knight effectiveness, a lot more pursuit. Kind of think I like the axe. The enemy fatal casualties is good, and the advantage in farmlands is great. They'll earn a huge amount of farmlands. I don't know the math on +2 knights versus +14 efficiency for all knights. Probably depends on how many knights you have. Are you willing to become our vassal, though you're fighting someone? Specifically, you're fighting Al-Andalus. Okay, so we are going to call this here. The big question I think I want is whether to join on behalf of this tributary and try to inflict a second loss on this gentleman down here. I mean, he's attacking, he's engaged in 3 wars. Whereas his capital's probably far away. It is. Yes, so I think okay, let's go ahead and just do it. We are going to join this war. We are now again at war with Al-Andalus. Despite having a treaty with them, I don't see their forces heading up north to our tributary yet. So I think what we will do is raise our armies and start getting a score by sieging them down here. But this is something really for our next episode. So we know what we'll be doing. At the start of next episode is fighting Al-Andalus yet again. So thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you join us for the next one. Goodbye.